June, the industry regulator has noted. Now, this marks the third straight quarterly drop for the country's biggest operator. The firm, part owned by South Africa's Vodacom and Britain's Vodafone, had 29.7 million subscribers during the period, as per data from the regulator Commission's authority. Now, while was up 0.7% from the previous quarter, Safaricom's rivals, including Bharti Airtel's Kenyan unit, added more subscribers, resulting in the company's reduced market share. Airtel's subscribers rose 11.9% to secure a market share of 21.4%. Now, motorists and commuters will enjoy some temporary relief after a marginal drop in super petrol by 1 shilling and 6 cents to now retail at 115 shillings 73 cents in Nairobi. The Energy Regulatory Commission says the drop is linked to a dip in the weighted average cost of imported refined petroleum products. The price of diesel has, however, increased by 1 shilling and 60 cents to retail at 109 shillings 72 cents. As has the price of kerosene, which went up by 43 cents to sell at 108 shillings 84 cents per litre. The new prices are inclusive of value-added tax at 8%, in line with the provisions of the Finance Act, which came into effect 4 weeks ago. In other news, Nairobi Importers and Small Traders Association are planning to demonstrate on Wednesday after saying the government has denied them access to their goods for 4 months now. The 3,000 containers, estimated to cost Kenya shillings 4 million each, are being detained at the Mombasa port with claims of the traders importing substandard goods.
Thereabout, our business have been facing serious challenges that could otherwise be manageable until the recent alert knock of the new challenge on our business doors from the most unexpected source.
Several attempts by the traders to seek the president to intervene have borne off fruit, and now they claim that an auction is underway and a host of their goods are being sold off at a throwaway price.
Our observation as good citizens who pay taxes as required is that the government has been acting in a manner that displays total non-concern on its people and the global market autonomy. It is important to note that 98% of the imported goods by the small traders are not manufactured in Kenya and neither in East and Central Africa, yet they are essential to our society.
The traders are also raising issue of harassment from government officials and have vowed to stage protests up until their demands are met. Julie Owino, KTN News.
Now, with the recent trend of increasing power bills, Kenyans are now being encouraged to adopt solar water heaters as a long-term solution towards lowering their domestic electricity costs. This comes after the recent implementation of the value-added tax on petroleum products that is consequently expected to affect the cost of electricity in the country, on top of the recently reviewed power tariffs by the Energy Regulatory Commission. According to Davis and Shirliffe, the country's leading water and energy solutions company, solar water heaters, also called solar domestic water systems, are the most viable solution to cost-effective water heating. Now, Google has launched the Grow with Google initiative, which will see 100 million Kenya shillings invested in agriculture. Considering that agriculture contributes 30% of the country's gross domestic product, the main goal of this funding is to help farmers in the country grow their businesses and the economy at large by digitizing in order to leverage the economy.
We introduced the national blueprint because we thought we cannot run Kenya's tourism the same way we used to run it 30, 40 years ago. It must change. We brought good consultant, went through our 2 years, and we had clear strategies. And everything is embedded through innovation and technology, innovation and change. The whole sector must be moving towards that.
We also understood through research that one of the biggest challenges, or some of the biggest challenges that farmers are facing today, is poor input, lack of knowledge. So they don't know if you, for instance, if you have chicken and they get Newcastle disease, how do you quarantine them? And just being able to understand and have that knowledge of being able to quarantine them can save part of the flock as opposed to losing everything. And also the last but not least is this notion of how do you get your produce from the farm to retail? Because if you're able to do that, you're able to actually get better prices depending on how much you can be able to disintermediate the brokers. So what we're doing is we're going to partner, or we are partnering with 1 Acre Fund. And 1 Acre Fund is a Kenyan NGO that is headquartered in Kakamega. And they're going to be working with us collaboratively to ensure that we train farmers to become more digitally savvy.
Well, the Kenya Revenue Authority has been challenged to adopt blockchain technology and artificial intelligence to enhance collection of fees, duties and levies, and that is, of course, also to stamp out corruption in the taxman's docket. KRA has been urged to use the technology to tap into the informal sector in its attempt to increase the tax base. From Dubai to China, globally,